Hello, everyone. You know what time it is? It is time for OCN Now, your daily talk show where we talk about the fun things, bad things, or weird things, or things that are going on in your community from ourcommunitynow.com. I'm your host, Josh, along with...
It's Evan. How's it going?
Saying happy Thursday, buddy.
Friday's Eve, dude. It's not Thursday. It's Friday's Eve.
Friday's Eve.
By the way, I went shopping for you. I was trying to get you a pink shirt for next Wednesday, but I couldn't find one.
You couldn't find one in my fat boy size?
Apparently, pink is not a favorable color in the men's department, so...
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm surprised you're shopping for me now. I'm actually a little flattered.
I wanted to be like, hey, look, buddy, I got you a present.
Right.
But then it totally fell through.
Well, you know, you've got a whole weekend to produce that on Wednesday, so...
Well, no, it has to be on Tuesday so you can wear it Wednesday. Because I don't want you like getting... No, we're not changing on screen here. That's gross.
Don't plan on taking my shirt off,
Gross.
but
Ew.
I have a lot of adoring fans who are probably excited to see that.
And that velvety voice.
But no. Actually, one lady did comment that I had a velvety voice and that, well, I won't tell you exactly what she said, but it made me blush, and we have not
turned
covered it.
velvety.
Yeah. It was weird.
Yeah,
So today, guys, we got for you NASA, Applebee, Star Wars, and COVID-19.
NASA.
It's crazy.
So speaking of NASA,
yeah,
I mean, SpaceX is doing a lot of really cool stuff.
that's right.
Which is pushing a lot of agencies to also be like, what are we going to do to keep up with what SpaceX is doing?
Right.
And so NASA is to land the first woman on the moon in 2024. Literally only 4 years away.
Right.
I'm actually
Less than
really
4.
excited about that.
Right.
Do you think that we should return to the moon, or is it just
absolutely.
lunacy?
Either we should return to the moon unless we were asked not to return by people already living there.
Oh, touche.
That should
Maybe
be
on the dark
But
side.
Do you support the return to the moon, or is it lunacy? God, our writers are great. I love everything they do. Last year, NASA announced plans to return to the moon with a mission named Artemis.
I'm
That's
cool with
right. Now, following successes in both hardware testing and contracting, NASA's published an overview of the Artemis mission, including the Phase 1 plans to put people back on the moon for the first time since 1972.
The real question
That
is
is
why are we
48
going there?
years. What's that?
The real question is why are we going there? There has to be a purpose at this point.
Every time we go and we do one of these missions, there's always a new technology that pops up, or there's some pretty valuable minerals up there we all want,
Well,
or
because
aliens.
of the space race, we created a lot of cool technology that we live with today.
Tang.
Tang's kind of
Velcro.
I haven't seen Tang in a while.
I miss Tang. I haven't seen it on the shelf. in a long time.
WD-40.
WD-40. That's
That was
right.
space shuttle right there.
Water displacement number 40.
Yep.
All kinds of cool things, but really neat.
Somebody told me that the 40 means like 40 different uses, but I think that's just...
I thought it was formula number 40 that they finally figured
that's what
out.
I
I
think.
can't remember. So in the brief, the plan for the next few years looks like this. Artemis 1 will, 2021, launch an unmanned test flight that combines the Space Launch System rocket with the Orion spacecraft. Artemis 2 will be in 2023, launch the Orion with astronauts aboard to test the navigation, and Artemis 2 2024, send them to the moon. NASA Administrator Jim Bridenstine describes the purpose of the Mars missions as such. As we've solidified more of our exploration plans in recent months, we've continued to refine our budget and our architecture. We're going back to the moon for scientific discovery, economic benefits, and inspiration for a new generation of explorers. As we build up a sustainable presence, we are also building momentum towards those first human steps on the red planet. So I'm guessing that this is the warm-up to go to Mars. A major goal for space exploration in the Artemis generation is to set up some kind of permanent moon base to facilitate exploration of the moon and springboard voyages to farther flung places like Mars.
So by the way, if you want to know more about this, definitely go to Lockheed's website.
Yeah.
You can look up the Orion to the moon and beyond mission kind of info. It's a pretty cool looking capsule, but it looks like it's based significantly on the Saturn V setup.
Wasn't Artemis the messenger of the gods? Mm-hmm. So what message are we sending to the moon?
Aliens. Well, so here's my only downside.
Yeah.
Like, I like that we are using Lockheed, but man, SpaceX has been able to do so much more in such a faster time.
How do you know they're not secretly working on it?
I mean, they could be like a side by side, and they could be using some of the technology they just got from.
My guess is that why
recent
Tesla is so valuable is because they have secret government contracts, and they might be helping us make our way to Mars. That's really the goal.
Are they going to pass like the floating roadster in space?
That'd be kind of fun.
Kind of cool.
Next one.
Okay, hold on. I'm getting there. So If you don't want to go to the moon and just want to have yourself a spooky experience,
but you want to feel
this
far
holiday
out,
season,
yes.
You could definitely head yourself down to Applebees.
Go to Applebees.
Man, I haven't been to Applebees in forever.
That's right.
But they are serving giant Halloween-themed cocktails. They are a boozy treat for only $5.
$5. That's right. These drinks put the boo in boozy. That's right. It's nearly October, which means that we're much closer to Halloween than before, and it's a lot of our favorite holidays. And in honor of the spooky season, Applebee's is bringing back its popular holiday-themed cocktails, which are available now through October 31st. Served in mucho glasses, there are 2 giant cocktails to choose from: the Tipsy Zombie, a tropical blue cocktail with Bacardi Superior, Midori, and a Gummy Brain. Very
I like the
similar
brain
to the
right there.
$1 zombie drink last year, and Dracula's Juice, which is a frozen drink made from Patron tequila, Bacardi Superior, wild berry, and margarita mix. Oh, and did we mention the cocktails are only $5? We did, but we're going to hammer that home.
It sounds like a diabetes in a glass. Like, looks like a lot of sugar right there.
Right. You'll also have the chance to get these Halloween-themed cocktails to go from select locations. You can click on the link in the description, or the link we provided.
I think in Colorado, almost all of our locations are to have serving to go. I mean, that's pretty dope.
It is, and
they're not gonna have the cool glass though, unfortunately.
No, but I'm sure it'll still be a lot of booze.
Yep, with a little
ready to go.
Floating on top.
So I'm excited. I'll probably get the Gummy Brain one, and then see how that shakes out. So, brains. It's a zombie infestation, but that one's always fun.
Speaking of Halloween, I mean, a lot of people, if they are going to trick or treat, or if they're just going to stay home and like post pictures of them dressed up, a lot of people like to dress up in Star Wars characters. Did you know that?
I always do. I have a Jedi robe and lightsaber ready to go at a moment's notice.
So speaking of Star Wars, did you know? Because you're like what? Okay, you were old enough to see this movie in theaters, like maybe as a little toddler.
I'm not.
But
I'm not. I wouldn't have remembered it because I was so young at the time.
You were so young at the time.
But it doesn't mean that my life wasn't full of Star Wars from all the toys and action figures and all that fun stuff, because when I was growing up, the best toys around were Star Wars, He-Man, and Transformers, G.I. Joe.
Yeah, G.I.
Loved
Joe.
some He-Man, but Star Wars action figures. A lot of my friends wanted to be Han Solo, but I'd rather be the Jedi.
Do you remember all the G.I. Joe public service announcements?
Oh, yeah.
Those are
absolutely. Cool. I watched that show.
So speaking of Star Wars.
Yes.
It is time to watch the greatest Star Wars film of all time.
That's right.
Yes, Empire Strikes Back is coming to theaters, if you can still go to a theater.
That's right.
This week, 40 years old, Empire, might as well.
It's a silver fox now, just like me. I told you that I was taken to a drive-in theater and saw The Empire Strikes Back when it was new, and that was probably my first movie-going experience. Probably was. Sadly, I have no memories of this, but to celebrate the 40th anniversary of its release, The Empire Strikes Back will be returning to select theaters on Friday, September 25th. That is tomorrow.
I mean,
so
I really want to go.
I do too. So fans can enjoy the second installation of the Star Wars franchise on the big screen. Simply check in with Fandango to find theater and times near you, although over the years, the original trilogy has been re-released in theaters as promotion for new movies and the like. This is still a special occasion, especially in times like these, because who hasn't been to a movie theater in a while?
Everybody. I know some people that have gone. They said it's great because no one's there.
Right.
So it's just you at the theater. You know, that's pretty cool.
Right. With national movie theaters trying to regain footing after closures due to the pandemic, there's still an air of uncertainty in times of release dates and what the future holds for the industry in general. So if you have not been to a movie, try to go to one. Keep them alive, because we may lose movie theaters forever. And one of my first jobs ever growing up was working in a movie theater. So I kind of have a special place in my heart. And I love Star Wars.
Who doesn't love Star Wars?
I love it.
I mean, there are people who don't love Star Wars.
There is.
But,
my wife hasn't seen a single episode.
Why are you even married to her?
She's a fantastic lady. You take those words back.
I mean,
you take those words. So back in May 1980, in a galaxy far, far away, that is when the anticipated sequel of all time hit movie theaters and really kicked off the Star Wars legacy. Star Wars mania really took off after The Empire Strikes Back, because it was probably one of the greatest movies ever made. I've got a picture for you guys.
Greatest Star Wars movie ever
made. There he is.
Sure.
There's the man. Who doesn't love Lord Vader?
Empire Strikes
Like if I had to follow a really bad, like a good bad guy, it'd be Darth Vader.
So as a kid,
yeah,
this was the movie I hated. Absolutely hated it, because it was a drama. It drug on. I'd fall asleep. Like, I really loved the the Hoth fight.
You're the one that loved Attack of the Clones.
No. I did not like Attack of the Clones. First off,
hold on, that's not what you said in the meeting the other day.
I said Phantom Menace.
Phantom. Oh,
See, so for you Star Wars fans, that's just cringeworthy right there. But as a kid, I was a Return of the Jedi fan all day. So much action, lightsabers, big, huge space battle.
Right.
That was awesome.
Giant trees.
As I've gotten older, I've come to appreciate the value of Empire Strikes Back and what it means to the story and the
I had
franchise.
so many hopes when they did the episodes 1, 2, and 3, and then when they gave us the rest.
Well, and did you know?
It
I mean,
was
sure
great.
you knew because you're smart and all like that. But did you know that the famous line where he says, "Luke, I am your father,"
Isn't the real line?
it's not.
It's not
But-
the real line. I don't even know what it is, though.
He didn't actually say that on set. James Earl Jones, which obviously is the voice of Darth Vader,
Vader,
said it later during the voiceover period. So everyone on set that reacted and did all that stuff had no clue that Darth Vader was their father. And it was a big shock to everybody on the big screen. It was a big secret, too.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember the first time I watched it, and I was like,
Were
oh
you
my
like,
gosh.
no, at the screen as well?
Right. Well, that was a really good plot twist back in the day, and we didn't have a lot of movies with those until M. Night Shyamalan gave us Icy Dead.
There are some people that argue that it was the worst thing that George Lucas could have ever done in Star Wars.
Was make
Darth Vader his father.
why it caused family drama for the rest of the galaxy.
I know, but
it created a story.
Luke kissed his sister earlier in that same
Listen, man, it wasn't.
movie. That is weird.
I got nothing for that. That is just. I got nothing. I'm gonna move on from that because it just.
Well, and speaking of Star Wars, sorry, before we get to this lady
Yeah.
who was about to cough on my shoulder.
Yes.
Star Wars, if you like The Mandalorian, it's coming out October 30th, season 2.
Right.
So excited
Love
for
that show.
Well, so obviously it's the end of September at this point.
is,
We got
right,
October,
2020.
November, and December, which means it's going to get cold across most of our glorious nation. And so what does December cough mean for this COVID-19?
Yeah, last year's December cough.
A new study says maybe it is. Who knows?
Right. A new UCLA study shows that the number of doctor visits from cough symptoms rose in December of 2019 last year. So did you have a cough in December? According to a study, you might have had coronavirus because we were all sick
I
in
literally was,
January
like,
at the
dying in
office.
January.
He went to some place, came back, and the next thing we know, we all had coughs and sore
Yep.
throats. So I think we all had COVID already.
Yeah.
But it is
Before
well
it
known
was
that
the
a
thing.
cough is a symptom of COVID-19, and a new study that looks at the prevalence of the symptoms suggests that the virus could have been in the United States in mid to late December. I think it's earlier. That's a personal thing. The study done by researchers from UCLA published earlier this month in the Journal of Medical Internet Research looked at data gathered from 180 clinics and 3 hospitals within the UCLA health system from December 2019 through February 2020, a system that sees 2.5 million patients annually. Specifically, they looked at the number of patients who had come in for medical care because of a cough over those 3 months and compared it to the average numbers for visits for costs over the 5 previous seasons. The research team found that there was an increased number of patients who visited those locations due to respiratory symptoms exceeding the 95% prediction for that time.
There you go.
Per 1,000 visits, researchers found 2 more cough-related outpatient visits than usual. Emergency facilities saw 19 more visits than usual per 1,000 visits, 39 more hospitalizations due to acute respiratory failure than the average per 1,000 hospitalizations. In total, the study saw 168 excess cases in outpatient clinics, 56 in emergency departments, and 18 with acute respiratory failure. Overall, the study concluded that there was a significantly higher number of patients with respiratory disease and complaints starting in late December of 2019 and continued through February 2020 when the study ended. Which means I think we've all already have it, and we all probably had it and got over it before we even knew it was a problem, which is crazy. It just shows you how fast the virus got around the world. I mean, it was around the world before we even knew it was a thing.
Yep.
Which is wild. That's international travel.
You guys all
People going
blame me for
places.
going to Disney in October and then bringing it back.
Well, they have a lot of international travelers, and then you go to Disney and you come back with this cough that lasted like
I got
6
sick at
weeks.
Disney,
Do
too.
you?
Yeah.
Dude, it was
I got the flu
crazy. You
while I
were
was
sick
at
for a while.
Disney.
Then, like as soon as you get back, just a few days later, I had this sore throat and this cough. It was just. I actually went to the doctor because I was like, I've never been this sick before, and I
they're
think
like,
we
"We
all
don't
know
know."
why,
Here's an inhaler.
right? And it was just. I think it was COVID-19. So.
We'll never know. Do, 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 do.
Right, because they didn't even cover our faces back then. Anyway, guys, if you like what we've seen here, head over to ourcommunitynow.com because we have all of the stories that go on in your neighborhood, your community, your state, wherever you may be. We're going to be there for you. That's ourcommunitynow.com. Also, don't forget to go to our YouTube channel, sign up, and subscribe to all the things that we do. We cover everything from
Oh, video games, duh. I mean, like, there's so much coming out in the news
Right.
today.
Millennials, boomers, pop culture, you name it, we try to cover it. Recipes are coming up. Go ahead and check out our latest one where the guys around here try a bunch of hot sauces, the ones that they specifically have on Hot Ones, the television show, and you can watch our buddy Mike fall to the ground because he said his head was so on fire he thought he was going to explode and die. And that was not because of COVID, it's because of something called
It was
The
a
Last Dab.
weird combination of...
the last dab.
Yeah.
And they didn't do just a dab, they did a spoonful.
Yeah, oh, it was
And it was
I at least advised them to at
scary.
least put it on something, but nope. Straight
Nope,
out
they went
spoon.
straight into spoons and swallowed it. It's kind of funny to watch. Head over there, check that out. Don't forget to subscribe to
They
our
asked
channel.
me to be on it. I was like, nope. Nope.
Yeah, that I was just going to
Not
produce
gonna
that
eat
one.
that.
There's no way I was going to touch that with a 10-foot pole, especially when they tried to talk and they're like, "This is really great. It's hot sauce." It's yeah, it was bad. It was kind of funny to watch. Other people's pain brings me entertainment.
Yeah,
That's why
that's
we work
usually
here.
what happens. It's why people watch Fail Army.
God,
Best
hilarious.
videos ever.
Hilarious. Guys, it's Thursday. It is Friday's Eve.
Friday's
Try to
Eve.
get through the day. We'll see you tomorrow because that's what we do. And
Coming up later on, we got our fantasy football picks of the week,
That's right. And we'll see
where
what
us average Joes
those
who really
who
know
have
not
no
very
clue
much about
what to
fantasy.
say.
are
I'm
gonna
gonna give you
our
advice on
picks
how to pick.
because we know you don't know a lot either.
right. You're probably better than us, but we don't care. I'll even give you the wins and losses for what games I'm going to win. I don't know what my record was last week, but I think it was phenomenal.
Trash.
It was phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Dude, you started off with the Bengals, so you already knew you were headed downhill.
They got to win one sooner or later. And it wasn't a bad game. They only lost by 5.
Yeah, it was actually really close.
So
That just shows how bad both teams are.
we'll see what happens, gang.
Yeah,
thanks
I told my buddy who's a Browns fan. He was like, I mean, it was just he's like, hey, I'll take a win, but it was the Bengals.
We'll see what happens. They can't be that way forever, and they might surprise you down the road.
Yeah, there you go.
We'll see who, with everybody hurt, we'll see what goes on, and everybody in the NFL feels like they're hurt right
Like,
now.
what was it, like
Which is-
30 injuries over the
Yeah,
weekend?
it's wild. It's bad. But anyway, guys, we'll see you later this afternoon with something wild, something crazy. But as always, stay safe.
And go watch Star Wars.
Woo! See you guys later.